Welcome back. We spoke earlier in May with regards to GEODE's view on the small and medium-sized utilities within Europe and how they're coping with the current situation with regards to the COVID crisis. So we're continuing now because I'm also curious to hear GEODE's views on the Green Deal. So just first of all, generally, what's GEODE's main take on the Green Deal?
Hi, and good afternoon, and thanks for the chance for this second interview, of course, which we're very welcome. I mean, of course, GEODE welcomed the European Green Deal, and we expressed already our support to it. And of course, it's a very wide number of initiatives and measures. And some of them, of course, have a major impact when it comes to other sectors, and also to the distribution grids, which is our main, of course, our main focus and the main activity of our members. And then, since already last year and beginning of this year, and when setting our priorities, I'm pretty linked to the Green Deal, and in particular to the announcement of this smart sector integration strategy, which the Commission is going to publish by the end of June. This year, we started intensively working on two main work streams, which is one is linked to the role of hydrogen and other renewable gases, because in GEODE we have both electricity and gas distributors, and also in some cases district heating. And our gas distributors, they are committed really to green their gas grids. Actually, we have our colleagues in the UK. They are already involved in a project which has actually this title. But many others are already engaged in Denmark, in Sweden, in different, and Germany, of course, and whether it could be hydrogen or biogas or biomethane, but we are fully supporting the greening of the gas grids. That's one of the main priorities for us, and linked to that, we are finalizing a paper to be published by the end of this week or early next week, a paper on hydrogen from the grid perspective, where our main recommendation is that the regulatory framework should allow current gas distributors to also be able to be what we call combined grid operators, so they could also run hydrogen networks, whether this would be pure hydrogen networks or partially, so existing gas infrastructure which can transport to a certain percentage also hydrogen, but that is possible also for these gas operators to refit their own grids to be able to transport these higher amounts of hydrogen, which is something which is not yet allowed. And also the European regulations directives should be amended so they are not only constrained to natural gas as it is today, but also allow for other renewable gases, particularly hydrogen, biogas, biomethane. Another important work stream is related to sector integration, which has always been, of course, of higher importance for our members. Sector integration is not, for us, a new concept, but there are existing practices in many cities already combining different synergies, in many cases driven by these local operators of electricity, gas, and district heating grids. So it's something we know, let's say, our members know by heart somehow. And here again, we are going to publish a paper with our views, with our positions on sector integration, which we believe is key to deliver the decarbonization. We have heard a lot of electrification, and of course we also support electrification, and we know it's key to decarbonize sectors like transport and heating, but it's not a silver bullet. We will need other energy sources, and here we think also renewable gases have a crucial role to achieve our targets, and that's of course together with the implementation of the clean energy package, the main priority areas which are pretty linked to the developments in the Green Deal. And of course, I have also to mention the establishment of the EU DSO entity for electricity DSOs, which we have been working heavily, I would say, since the last 12 or 18 months, I would say, together with the other European DSOs associations.
Thank you, Carmen. Yeah, we know that GEODE is doing a lot of different work, and it's very interesting to hear from you. We wanted to ask you another question, which is about the situation we are in now and the COVID crisis, I would say. Can you share with us what do you think perhaps will change once we're out of this crisis, if anything will change actually? What do you think? What do you hope?
Well, I think I can give you my personal view, and you can hear many different perspectives. Some think nothing will change, others many things will change. I think from the energy perspective, which is what we are talking about, I think we have also, I think people now care about energy, and that's important. That's one important thing. On the other hand, we have shown the energy sector, and in particular the grids, that we have been resilient, that we have ensured security of supply, and that we are reliable, and also that electricity is absolutely needed. And we see that as important. Of course, we don't need pandemics to learn that, but this is, of course, it happened to be the case. Also, digitalization. We think we have all realized, I mean, professionally, personally, the importance of digitalization, and those in terms of companies who were well prepared to move to digital have seen the advantages to keep working almost normally and as usual. But also in the energy sector, I think we have moved also much more to digital in the relations with our customers. So this is an achievement, because it was not so easy. In particular, we have local members in small towns and so on. And so they have felt their energy companies still pretty close and without the need to the physical contact. They have all moved their services more addressed to the customers to digital. Of course, still there is part of the work which needs to be done physically, repairs, etc., which have been kept with needed protections and so on. So that's our perspectives, and that says we think, of course, that we need to keep on track with the energy transition, which was already started. It's not new. There is no other way but to keep with that. We do believe that in future energy will be, of course, more renewable, but that means more local. And we have to make it sustainable and affordable for our citizens, and now even always, but now even more, because we will see, and we will have to face the effects and the impact of this crisis. It's a healthy crisis, but now, well, it will bring the economic effects into the society. I think, well, that clearly sets my thinkings, overthinkings on that.
You're saying indeed healthy crisis and economic situation. The Green Deal was already established before the COVID-19, obviously. A lot of time and thinking has been put into this. How do you feel the Green Deal can be a stimulus moving forward? Do you think do we already have a plan for the future if you relate it to the energy sector, and maybe even broader?
I mean, we in GEODE, we think that the Green Deal is the way to go. And I was reading actually yesterday an article published in the Financial Times, and they were saying, I mean, the question is whether we should solve first the COVID crisis and then leave for later the Green Deal or the climate change actions. But this is not the question. The question is if we can afford to split and to delay the climate change actions and the decarbonization targets, and we cannot do that. I'm confident to listen to either Commissioner Simpson, Commission Vice President Timmermans, that they are really committed and to include the Green Deal as part of the recovery plan of COVID crisis. So this seems to be there is a political commitment on that, so which is from our side, but it's not only us, but I think the whole energy sector and the industry as such that will give support. It's not time to delay. I think we have this. Like these next 10 years are critical to really achieve our decarbonization targets to really be able to fight against climate change, which we will see probably in a few years whether this COVID-19 is also a link with how we have been treating our planet or not. But it seems it is connected. So we don't want to suffer this sort of crisis any longer because of inaction, I would say. So we have to keep on track with the Green Deal. That's clearly our position on that. Also, I think there are relevant experts, the International Energy Agency, academics that are also supporting these theories, and I do hope this will be something that the our politicians will take with them, and will lead us through. Mm-hmm.
Okay, just one more question. The Green Deal is also about employment, and do you feel that also looking at your members, maybe not on a very short term, but maybe on a average term, do you feel that your members can also help as part of the Green Deal in getting the employment rates up again?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, if we go maybe to Spain, no? In that case, if we keep on track with the renewables, but that could be a way to be leaders in renewable energies, where our country has a great potential, and this could, of course, make a growth on jobs. An economy for sure, and a good way also to diversify. We're a country pretty much reliant in tourism sector, which, well, as you know, is one of the most impacted sectors at the moment. So why not to look for other sectors with a huge potential, as could be renewables in our case. And you can see this also, this effect also in other countries. Italy is another one, which is in a pretty similar situation to us, probably also France and the southern part when it comes to renewables. So, but in other ways, I mean, there are new business and a lot to be developed there. So if there are the right investments, of course, this could have a positive impact in both employment and economy.
Okay. Well, I think that concludes this this second part of the interview. Thank you very much for your time, Carmen, and also Florence. Thank you very much for being with us again.
Thanks to you.
It's a wrap, and I'm sure that we'll be in touch in the upcoming months, years, hopefully,
Sure.
because it has been a pleasure collaborating with GEODE in the past years, and we're looking forward to the future. And well, as you mentioned, there is still a future, so we're looking forward to it.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks very much, and looking forward for that. And maybe we can then they can do this interview even all together in physical.
Yeah, physical.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
Yeah.